Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa and welcome to Unit Lost. Today I'm going to look in detail at Titanfall and attempt to answer the question, is it worth it? So Titanfall is a multiplayer FPS which is extremely fast paced and features interesting mechanics such as wall running and Titan piloting. It's a game about skillfully joining these abilities together, using the environment in conjunction with your parkour abilities while calling down your Titan at just the right moment. It's a game of fast paced skill. It has 15 maps and 5 game modes. It's entirely multiplayer with no single player campaign. Honestly, the lack of single player campaign in a multiplayer game is totally fine by me. Just look at the terrible rancid mess Battlefield 3 and 4's campaigns were. They were absolutely dire. Titanfall does have a campaign mode in which you play a series of multiplayer games which are loosely connected by a pretty weak storyline. It's pretty bad, guys. It's no different to straight up playing any of the multiplayer modes, however. You're still playing against other people, so yeah, it really has no single player campaign, but I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with the fact that they want to focus on multiplayer, because what is the point of tacking on a terrible single player campaign that nobody is even going to remember? Now, I play Titanfall on PC. It's glaringly obvious they have put no effort into the multiplayer interface at all. You cannot select specific maps to play on. Instead, you are given the option of a game mode, then you are either placed into a lobby waiting for other players or thrown directly into a half-finished game, which I absolutely hate with a passion. You know, Titanfall is a game about keeping ahead of the flow, following the combat as it moves around the map. So when you're slammed into a part-finished game, that is totally, utterly impossible. And you know what? It pisses me off to no end. It also likes to randomly throw you from a half-finished lobby into a half-finished game. This is especially irritating as normally during the lobby phase, you are equipping burn cards, changing loadouts, etc, etc, only to be rudely interrupted by being forced into a game. I mean, hell, check out me and Kiri's response to this actually happening live. Watch this. I don't want a high-powered thing. Right, Titan loadouts. Titan 1, railgun. Titan 2. What the fuck?
What is this about? What is this? We've been thrown into another game?
I think so. We must have been.
I've only got one burn card. What the fuck?
I ain't got none.
What the hell? So it just chucked us in without asking us?
Let's talk about clan and or community support, because there is none, guys. There is absolutely zero. You cannot form clans. You cannot play with and against clan members. Sure, yeah, you can group together as one team, so you could get 6 of your friends together, but you'll be playing total randoms. Which kind of leads me to my next point. The matchmaking system is not based on skill, not as far as I can tell anyway. More often than not, you will either end up on or facing a stacked team. There is no dedicated server support. That means no server communities will form. It also means you have no idea of the quality of the server. Simply put, there is no reason for Titanfall to not have fully fledged community support and dedicated servers. They claim to be fully focused on multiplayer, so where are these options? So then why is Titanfall the best multiplayer FPS I've played for years and years? Well, this one time I was running along the rooftops gunning down enemy pilots. I called down my Titan in the distance with the intention of jumping into him and causing massive devastation. However, an enemy Titan engaged mine before we could meet up. With my Titan set on AI mode, I began to circle around the back of the enemy Titan, rodeo it, so I jumped on top of it, and began to destroy its crazy robotic brain. The enemy pilot ejected as his Titan entered the doom state, which means it's about to explode. It's been destroyed and its health is, well, it's about to blow up, guys, basically. So he jumps out of his Titan. I disengaged, jumped into my Titan and stepped on him. I literally stepped on the guy and killed him. What the hell? You see, guys, that kind of stuff happens all the time, and I'm sure everyone currently playing Titanfall has similar stories. I know that's just one of many I have. I mean, I literally have loads and loads and loads. The game marries Titans, pilots and map design into one cohesive, amalgamated mass of multiplayer excitement. Excitement and fun that I've not felt since the early days of Counter-Strike. Well, and more, I guess, aptly, Unreal Tournament 2004, which I think is a very good comparison for Titanfall, because I do get that feeling of, I don't know, it's just that feeling, guys, and I think that is such a wonderful thing to capture. Titans are not overpowered either. They simply join the battle and have their own distinct roles. They can easily be taken down by pilots on foot, just as easily as the Titan can take out pilots on foot. It's an astonishing achievement of balance. I do, however, have one quite big issue, and that's the smart pistol, ladies and gentlemen. This is a weapon that auto-locks on enemy pilots and AI troops. It takes a few seconds to lock on, but once fully locked on, a single discharge of the weapon will kill an enemy pilot. Initially, this weapon was not really that bothersome to me. It took far too long for it to lock on, compared with the speed I could target and kill people using traditional weapons. However, the target range on this weapon is far too high. Players can simply aim in your general direction, jump around and then fire. It is a distinct skill imbalance, and much lesser players, no disrespect to them, but much lesser players are able to use this kind of troll tactic, I guess troll smart pistol tactic, to take out players of much higher skill. I think there really needs to be a reduction in the weapon's target acquisition range. I think that would solve this issue, and hopefully Respawn are looking at that. So let's talk about the price. Now, please note the price will change as the game ages, as prices tend to do, but currently Titanfall is retailing for $44.99 for the base game and $19.99 in the UK for the Season Pass. Now, I've put the other prices from the other regions across the screen, so you guys can check that out. Now, that's expensive. In whatever region you're in, the game is it's bloody expensive. Considering we have no idea what the Season Pass involves, that's kind of like, you know, give us 20 quid for something extra, which I believe they're going to come in various updates in what they're calling drop pods. Now, I think if Battlefield and Call of Duty are anything to go by, it's probably going to be a case of map packs, new weapons, you know, things like that. I very much doubt we'll see new game modes. We might do, because sometimes you do. With Battlefield 3 and 4, they did introduce different game modes, so we may. But again, we don't actually know what this is. So for them to charge for that, without any giving any information, is kind of strange. So I guess the question is it worth it? Well, yeah, I think it is worth it, because I'm having one hell of a time playing the game. You know, but I am an FPS player. You know, I have a history of Counter-Strike, of Quake, of games like that. I played those games, you know, for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm pretty good at FPS games. I'd say I'm much better than the average player. Okay, I'm not a pro, but I'm much better than the average player. However, my partner in crime, Kirioth, now if you're a fan of the channel, you will know who Kirioth is. I'm sure he'd admit this, but he's no good at FPS games. In fact, his reactions are pretty slow, so he tends to get completely destroyed. You know, and often, games like Battlefield and whatnot, he tends to leave, like, in a rage, because he's generally towards the bottom of the team, and, you know, things have gone pretty bad for him. However, he's played Titanfall more than me. He's actually a higher level than me in Titanfall at the moment. You know, he's played the game for probably close to 20 hours. It's probably more, actually. You know, so if he's playing Titanfall, and he's not a hardcore FPS fan, yet he is playing the game, well, hell, it has to be doing something right. You know, and I think there's things like the AI, the way the AI is integrated into the game. You know, anybody can kill the AI. I know the AI is terrible and all the rest of this stuff, but it does make the battlefield feel a little bit more alive. Nothing beats running around the corner, gunning down a couple of AI, then killing a pilot. You know, you've literally just killed 5 or 6 people. And I think that kind of rush, that kind of, oh my god, I'm a killing machine type of thing, they've really captured well. And of course then you've got the Titans, where the Titans, you know, are Titans, so what more can you say? So yeah, I think using him as an example is much better than me saying I think the game is great, because I like FPS games anyway. So yeah guys, I would say that Titanfall is worth it. It is expensive, you don't get tons and tons of content, but what you do get is extremely polished and well made. You will have one hell of a multiplayer FPS experience when you play Titanfall, I guarantee it. So I've been Stylosa, ladies and gentlemen. This is Unit Lost, and I've just attempted to answer the question, is Titanfall worth it? As ever, please rate the video and comment below, and I'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.